Post, RCAC. Okay. Oh, no, okay, so what I want to do now is, I think I'm talked out for the moment, not talked out, but I want to hear let's have a question. So everybody who's got a question, raise your hand, just for now, and if you think of one later, don't panic. Okay, so we're going to go one, no, remember your numbers, okay? 1, this is so people don't get antsy. 2, you sir, 3, you Nan, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is just round 1, so now everybody we can all listen to number 1.
Hi, my name's Tricia Springstead. I'm a registered nurse and I have a master's degree in biology.
Okay.
My husband is an MD, and when the spill began hitting up Florida and in Alabama, my partner and I drove up, and I work with scientists in California that are renegades, and they needed samples. So David and I drove all the way up from here. I get up there and I feel like I'm in a military war zone. Mm-hmm. Nobody could give us any information. So I said, okay, where's the best place to go? You go to the local bar. So we met a guy, he got us into the local bar, and so I'm working this side of the room, BP execs. David's working this side of the room, BP workers.
This is how you do it.
And then these BP execs, I'm like talking crap to them, like I don't know anything. And one BP exec flashes me a gold lighter, showing me I'm a BP exec. Meanwhile, the BP exec is watching David work the other side of the room to see who's talking. They are watching each other. So then we get down on the beach and we run in. This guy was so wonderful. This kid working on the rigs. He said, "Go to Orange Beach." He said, "There's slicks this high on Orange Beach." David and I hit Orange Beach the next morning.
What dates were these?
This was last Tuesday. We hit Orange Beach last Wednesday, and that beach was cleaned up.
Yep.
But Ron Mott at NBC had just made an appointment with the mayor of Orange Beach. So they went out that night and cleaned it up.
Yep.
So I'm there in my bare feet, my hands, and I'm looking at this water and I can see the red coming up. I know what tar balls look like. I grew up in California. They're black and solid. Mm-hmm. These things are black and red on the inside. So anyways, then we got thrown out of that. We ran like hell out of that beach. And then we finally meet somebody just by divine order. Yeah. We meet somebody from the Seabird Sanctuary in St. Petersburg and somebody working here in Sumter. I said, where do we go? We need samples of this crap because I got to send it to California because they have an organic dispersant.
There might be BP people here too, just FYI, following.
Yeah, well, fine. They can shoot me. I don't care. These people don't scare me anymore. Yeah,
and that's the thing.
But the bottom line was, we got out on that beach, and David and I walked out there like we owned the beach. And I got sample after sample after sample, and we're getting up and we're throwing all this stuff in the back of we're labeling it, dating it, everything. We throw this stuff in the back of my car, and there's a guy on a radio in an ambulance, and in drives 2 cop cars, and we fly out. So the bottom line is, the bad thing about all this is it's a cover-up. We know it's a cover-up, and David and I, since we've gotten back from there, we both have been sick. We both have not felt well. I could sleep 4 hours and stay, and my husband keeps saying to me, "What's going on? You need an antibiotic." I'm like, "I need a detox." So if anybody needs any help medically in this county,
yeah,
Tricia Springstead.
Can you just put your contact info on it?
Absolutely.
And because I'm having I'm creating listservs. One is the key liaisons in the community so that we can network information out to people. Another one is a medical listserv with people who have volunteered in community after community. There's people in Orange Beach who want to start a detox center. What a great idea. So I'm going to network the medical community with the Physicians for Social Responsibility, who want to bring in free clinics, with Keith Olbermann, who wants to fundraise for the free clinics, and with we need to start getting veterinary information, because if you have sick people, you're probably going to have sick pets as well. And again, that helps build the story that oil really is as big of a problem. That, you know, we have it's the sick wildlife and workers offshore, sick people and pets onshore. But surrounding.
But I think it's pretty sad if you spend 2-3 days up there and you come back depressed. You come back.
Central nervous system.
Yeah, you come back depressed. You come back with like chronic fatigue, and this is not me.
You let me warn you. I mean, I blew out my adrenals on this. You can actually blow out your adrenal glands, and if you do that, you go non-weight bearing, all your ligaments. And so this is like this is all really subtle stuff that we will make you whole. No. No. What's the price on a divorce? What's the price on a suicide? What's the price on having your health dinged? You know, come on. So, wait, I was going to add something. The people across the states are starting to realize what is going on here. We thought this was we the people. You know, we thought we had a government up for and by the people, and it's pretty blatantly obvious that our democracy got hijacked, okay? And this is a total separate aside and something that you can all, I mean, we've got enough to work on right now, but just know that what came out of the Exxon Valdez oil spill, and this is the last chapter of Not One Drop, is people in our town, in Cordova, our little 2,500 person town, started saying, what happened here? We thought we lived in America. Well, how did these big corporations hijack our government, turn out the whole legal system? Wait till you see that. That's just a big snarl. It's totally a playing field that's tipped to advantage to big corporations. I mean, we lost, right? We got 10 cents on the dollar. People got paid about 7 to 10% of what we actually lost 20 years too late. That's how it all ended up for us. And unfortunately, this sets precedent for you all. So I didn't know. I didn't know the answer to that question. And so I went out to research it. And I spent 2 years just studying democracy. I didn't really pay attention to civics. I was a scientist, right? And I found out something really weird. And this is in the last chapter of Not One Drop. But there's 2 ways to amend our U.S. Constitution. You ready for this? One way is the way we all do it. We've done it 27 times. It's spelled out in the Constitution. The other way is through the back door, through the Supreme Court. 9 judges interpreting the Constitution to mean something that it didn't. So we use the word person in our Constitution 34, and Bill of Rights and whatnot, amendments, 34 times. Did you ever think that our founders would think that would be anything less than a living, breathing human being? Come on. In 1886, the U.S. Supreme Court decided that corporations, artificial persons, that's what they're recognized under the law, have the same rights as living, breathing human beings. The 9 court judges just reinterpreted the law. And that's why we have these big corporations in our, buying our politicians, messing about with our electoral. I mean, I don't care if you're red or blue, Republican, it doesn't matter. We, the people, should be electing people. We should not be fighting these big corporate billions of dollars. That is what hijacked our democracy. So what I'm about is moving to amend the U.S. Constitution to drive in some new rights, the way we drive them in, to affirm that only human beings have constitutional rights, not corporations. Corporations are not persons. Money is not speech. Pretty simple. So when you go to my website, rickyott.com, you'll see this whole separate thing. But I was on tour doing that. I call it my Paul Revere ride around the country. Our democracy's got hijacked. We need to get our democracy back. I was 252 days last year traveling, doing this. And so this is our little symbol where I can talk about we the people.